The first bell of the day echoed across the corridors of Oak Ridge High, a prestigious school known for its high achievers, affluent families, and neatly ironed uniforms. Students hurried to their classes, chatting about homework, weekend plans, or the latest smartphone models. Among them was Rayan, a 10th grader with perfect grades, designer sneakers, and a natural knack for becoming the center of attention. That morning, a new student walked into the classroom, quiet, eyes down, wearing a simple gray hoodie, a backpack that had seen better days, and the most noticeable thing of all, torn brown shoes barely holding together. "Everyone, this is Zion, your new classmate," the teacher introduced. "He recently moved here from another city. I expect you all to welcome him kindly." Zion gave a polite nod, avoided eye contact, and quietly sat at the last desk. It didn't take long before Rayan noticed the shoes. He leaned over to his friends and whispered loud enough for others to hear. "Hey, look at that guy's shoes." Did he walk all the way from the village? Laughter erupted. Zion pretended not to hear it. Chapter 2. The Humble Stranger. Over the next few days, Rayan's taunts grew louder. Sometimes he would drop sarcastic comments. "Zion, let me know if you want my old shoes." "I was going to donate them anyway." Or, "You sure you're in the right school, buddy? This isn't a charity house." Most students laughed. Some felt uncomfortable, but no one said anything. Zion, however, remained calm. He attended all classes, turned in his homework on time, and always greeted others with respect. He never reacted to the insults. Not even once. One day during lunch, a quiet student named Danielle, who sat next to Zion in math, finally spoke up. "Why don't you say anything back to Rayan?" Zion smiled. "Because I have nothing to prove to him." That answer confused Danielle. But there was something in Zion's tone, not arrogance, not fear, just quiet strength. Chapter 3. The Soccer Match. Weeks passed. A school-wide soccer tournament was announced and tryouts began. Rayan was the team captain. Naturally, everyone expected him to lead the team to victory. Surprisingly, Zion signed up too. Rayan laughed when he saw Zion's name. "You'll play football with those shoes. Maybe they'll fall apart before halftime." Tryouts began. The boys gathered around the field. When Zion stepped in, even the coach looked skeptical. But the moment the ball touched his foot, everything changed. Zion wasn't just good, he was phenomenal. His footwork was fast and smooth, his passes precise, and his speed was unmatched. The coach blew the whistle, looked at his clipboard, and said, "Zion, you're playing midfield. Rayan, make sure you work with him, not against him." Rayan couldn't hide his shock. The tournament day arrived. Oak Ridge High's field was crowded with parents, teachers, and students. Rayan's friends still mocked Zion behind his back, but everyone had seen his skills now. Whispers were changing from, "Why does he wear those shoes?" to, "Where did he learn to play like that?" Zion's performance was exceptional. He assisted, tackled, scored, and led the team with quiet confidence. Even Rayan had to admit, without Zion, they wouldn't have won the final match. After the trophy ceremony, as the players gathered around, Zion was approached by the school principal herself. "Well played, young man. You've brought pride to our school. I'd like to meet your parents sometime." Zion simply nodded. "Yes, ma'am. I'll tell them." But Rayan was watching him closely now. Something about the way people were reacting to Zion was bothering him. A few days later, Oak Ridge High hosted a fundraising gala. Students and parents were invited. Luxury cars rolled into the campus. Rayan arrived with his father, a businessman. As they entered the hall, a collective murmur passed through the crowd. The headmaster, staff, and even some local media representatives surrounded a man, tall, well-dressed, familiar. It was Zion. Standing next to him was an elderly man in a tailored suit. Someone whispered to Rayan's dad, "That's Mr. Idris Khan, CEO of Blue Core Enterprises, one of the wealthiest men in the country." "What? And who's the boy with him?" Rayan's father asked. "That's his son, Zion Idris Khan." Rayan's ears went hot. His chest tightened, he froze in place. Rayan couldn't sleep that night. Everything replayed in his mind. The insults, the jokes, the arrogance. He had bullied the son of a billionaire. And not just any billionaire, but a man who could have bought the entire school if he wanted to. But why had Zion hidden it? Why wear torn shoes? Why act poor? The next day at school, Zion sat in his usual back row seat, dressed exactly the same. Rayan nervously approached. "Hey, Zion, listen. I didn't know. I never meant—" Zion looked up, calm as ever. "You didn't need to know. You should treat people with respect anyway." Those words hit Rayan harder than any punishment could. Later that week, Zion addressed the school assembly. I've been asked why I dressed the way I did. I'll answer honestly. My father grew up poor. He had to walk barefoot to school. He became rich, yes, but he taught me not to let money define who I am. So when I joined Oak Ridge, I told him I wanted to study here just like a regular boy. No chauffeurs, no luxuries, just my books, my backpack, and my will. I wore torn shoes not because I had to, but because I chose to remind myself of what really matters. The auditorium was silent. Even the teachers had tears in their eyes. Zion ended his speech with one sentence that everyone remembered. Judge less, respect more. Rayan changed after that. He became quieter, more thoughtful. He stopped mocking others and began helping weaker students. One day he approached Zion again, not to apologize, but to ask, "Can you teach me how to play like you?" Zion smiled. "Sure, but only if you teach me math. I suck at it." The two boys laughed. From that day, they became an unlikely duo. The boy who had everything, and the boy who had nothing to prove. Years later, a newspaper article went viral. Zion Idris Khan builds 100 schools for underprivileged children across the country. At the bottom of the article, there was a photo. Zion stood in front of one of the schools with another man, now a teacher. It was Rayan.